obviously DC's been slacking from behind Marvel. They've had some good movies, some really bad ones, and a lot of people hate on their movies.
Yeah.
But is now the opportunity for DC to finally get their shit together, because, like I said, Marvel needs time to get this new universe going, this new phase going, and now is the opportunity for DC to push all these unique superheroes that no one's ever heard of, like
and also
Marvel did.
People really loved Wonder Woman, and people really loved Aquaman. Aquaman made $1 billion.
Aquaman is very successful.
Yeah, so it's not like people aren't turning out anymore. I think it's they didn't like Batman vs Superman. They didn't like Justice League.
Oh, they're still averaging $230 million a year.
Yeah,
at least. I mean, a box office. They're still very successful movies. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because they have a huge library of characters. Some of them are beloved and have been beloved by so many for so many years. They dug themselves into a hole after seeing the success of the Avengers, and they rushed their team up. So they started with Man of Steel, which I think is an underrated movie we can talk about later.
Man of Steel.
I love it. We can talk about it in a little bit. And rather than going with the solo Batman movie with Ben Affleck, and rather than going with the solo Wonder Woman movie, which was great, and Aquaman, they went right to the team up. And in Batman vs Superman and Justice League, when they're bringing together this group, it felt so forced and lazily written, and just like it wasn't interesting. And it was just like, come on, really? It's the Justice League already?
Some of the actors aren't even household names.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, you need to establish Cyborg to the mainstream audience before they want to turn out for one of his movies.
And Flash.
Yeah.
The Flash is a beloved character to so many fans, and then, like, they just threw him in, too.
Yeah, I wanted to see a Flash movie. Instead, they just threw him on the side as, like, the comic relief in Justice League.
Yeah, I mean, DC clearly, they seem to be reacting and trying to emulate Marvel rather than focus on bringing their characters out slowly, smartly, their own style, their own universe, building it. So they were completely reactionary, like, oh, we got to get all these people
Exactly,
out.
yeah.
And then their biggest problem is Marvel works so well because all these characters had so many movies, and they all had so much character development.
You felt like you really knew them. And when they teamed up, it was like when, in Game of Thrones, when all the characters started getting together in the last season. You're like, oh my god, they're finally crossing paths.
Yeah, they're just homies. It's like you see your friend at the mall. It's like, hey, bro, you're here too.
Yeah.
So that's what it was kind of like. And then DC, they made Man of Steel, which was awesome. I love that movie. I don't care what anyone says. And then Wonder Woman had a solo movie. Batman didn't get a solo movie? How do you not make a Batman solo movie? I know the temptation to make Man of Steel, like Batman vs Superman, is there, but like you gotta establish probably the most important character in the DC universe because of what happened with Batman Begins franchise.
Absolutely.
And they fucked that up.
Yeah. They fucked it up.
Imagine, I would have loved to see Batman solo with Ben Affleck.
It should have been Batman solo movie, and then Superman should have got another solo movie too, before Justice League.
I know. Well, the thing with them is they're like, oh, we're going to have a 5-movie franchise for Superman, Man of Steel. They got one out by himself.
It could have been a great trilogy.
How do you
It
fuck
could have been
that
fantastic.
up?
And you had the perfect Superman.
They did. They had Cavill, I think, was...
Let's just go into Man of Steel.
Man of Steel? Fucking love that movie, dude. I wept. I cried in Man of Steel.
Oh, me too,
multiple times.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I love Superman so much, and I had been dying for like a modern take on Superman because they did it with Superman with
Brandon Routh.
Yeah, Bryan Singer, but I didn't like that much. Yeah. He seemed kind of like a bitch.
I don't think he can emote at all.
He was a great Clark Kent. I'll give him that. He was spot on as Clark Kent, but like as Superman, like, come on, this guy sucks.
Yeah, exactly. And then in Man of Steel, when you see him, he's like on a fishing boat, like he's lost with his. He doesn't know what he's
jacked.
He's got a shirt off, running through the rain. His hairy chest,
bro. It's like Henry Cavill brought the hairy chest back, and I'm so happy about it.
He was so jacked that people thought it was CGI.
I know.
That's how fucking huge this guy got. But he also brought like a real humanization to the character. Mm-hmm. You felt like he was a real person who was struggling with his identity of who he was, and it was really this great storyline of he's torn between being this alien from this other planet and then being who his parents raised him to be, just a person on Earth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's this great conflict inside of him where he doesn't know what he wants to do. He's lost.
Yeah, Zack Snyder did a great job with that alien vibe.
Yeah.
Because usually...
It felt like a sci-fi movie.
Yeah, usually people, when they think of Superman, they don't think of an alien. They think of just like a really strong human. They know he's not from Earth, but they don't connect him with aliens.
Yeah.
But then the opening of the movie is in a different fucking planet, which is great.
And then when they turn the main conflict of the movie into pretty much an alien invasion, it's like, oh, cool. I've never seen this kind of style done with Superman before.
Yeah. I mean, there are things you can pick apart about Man of Steel. A lot of people don't like it, but I really love that movie. I think that was the perfect movie to reignite the DC franchises.
Yeah. And I think Cavill was a perfect Superman.
Cavill was great. Michael Shannon was great as Zod.
Amy Adams was great, Lois Lane.
Hans Zimmer killed it with the score.
Oh my god, that score! That's that theme. Those trailers, remember those trailers? Oh my! I used to watch those trailers just like over and over again.
Dude, so good.
But I understand the two main problems with that movie that people have is obviously the mass destruction that happens in the climactic fight with Zod, and it is if you watch it again, it is pretty graphic. It's insane how much destruction there is.
Yeah.
So you can understand they maybe overlooked the impact that could have on the audience. And then also when Superman snaps Zod's neck, which I think was a really cool thing that would happen. Because the thing with Superman is everyone's like, oh, he's a Boy Scout. Like, he's not that cool of a character. And then what do you have him do? You have him kill the villain and snap his neck. Like, if that's something that, like, oh, they're trying to do something different here. Yeah. You know what I mean? They're trying to change our perception of the character.
I think they did a good job with that tone and that like kind of realism that they did with that Chris Nolan brought with Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah.
But then they kind of lost that with like Batman versus Superman, and then with
it wasn't like Superman that wasn't that important in the movie. In the movie, like, Batman versus Superman.
How is Superman like not always just like the major part of the movie?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to
me.
me.
Understand.
He's barely in. Like I feel like Batman.
It's a
Superman.
Batman movie, pretty much.
It's a Batman movie hiding into a duo movie, which is kind of not fair to Superman or Batman.
Superman didn't have much to do at all in that movie. It was all Batman figuring. Like it was his backstory. I don't know why they did the fucking origin again. Like how many times have we seen that? There's no need for it. You're already established Batman. Why even do the backstory again? And then if the whole movie was Batman's storyline, and then sprinkled in Superman here and there.
And sprinkle in Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
I mean, Wonder Woman's great, though.
Yeah.
I really like Wonder Woman.
She's cool.
I don't say that I hate Batman versus Superman. There are a lot of parts to it that I like. Like, I really like Ben Affleck as Batman. I thought he killed it.
Yeah. When he first came out as Bruce Wayne, it was obviously surprising in the news and media. People were freaking out. But he really did a much better job than I expected him to do. He pulled it off.
His first, like, fight was sick.
Oh, yeah, in that warehouse.
How do they only have one of those, dude? How do you not make a movie of him doing that the whole time?
Oh, my God.
That was like the best fight scene I've ever seen.
He's just crushing people's skulls with his fist.
Fucked people up.
Oh, my God.
And like hiding in the corner with in the shadows.
Yeah.
And then he beat the fuck out of those dudes.
Oh, my
God. The violence was like ruthless.
And then you could see like, oh, they made him, like you could see how powerful this guy is. And he's just a human.
Yeah.
He has no superpowers, but he's just got so much brute strength.
Yeah. So, but again, another mistake, another pro that Marvel's done is, DC brought Ben Affleck and they had Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot, but like really Ben was only like the real household name so far.
Yeah.
I mean, people kind of knew who Cavill was.
He's still kind of obscure a little bit.
Gal Gadot wasn't really that famous, but Marvel brings the star power, bro.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Downey, Iron Man revived his career, but still he was a very famous guy. Yeah. He's an Oscar nom. He should have won
for Chaplin.
Should have won for Chaplin. I don't know how he didn't win. It was like 1990 or 1991.
Yeah.
They have freaking Terrence Howard was popular at the time. He was popular. 2008.
Yeah, no, I mean like he's not.
When he got cut.
He didn't make he got cut off Varsity.
Chris Evans was pretty popular. Yeah. He already was a superhero in Fantastic Four. Chris Hemsworth was pretty well known. Mark Ruffalo is well known. Jeremy Renner was just in the Hurt Locker, so he was well known.
They're like Marvel is like if you've been nominated for an Oscar, you're gonna be in a Marvel. Like they want you.
It's kind of like Harry Potter, like for all these great British actors. Like, oh, you get your wand, or you get your superpower. It's the same thing.
That's the thing is Marvel. I think their greatest strength is their casting because they cast each role perfectly, and they go for quality, high class actors.
Yeah. How many people besides like film geeks and like kind of just fans of this guy can tell us who the Flash is? Ezra Miller? Yeah, I know who he is because I love movies. But
Perks of Being a Wallflower didn't make $200 million.
Ask our roommates. I guarantee they have no idea who Ezra Miller is. Guarantee. I don't even know Cyborg's name. I forgot it.
Yeah,
I forgot his name. They had
a Cyborg movie in pre-production.
I don't remember his name, man. That's how do you make a movie where two of the lead characters in the movie for a giant superhero smash up, you don't even know who they are?
Unbelievable. Because, I mean, that's where, like, if you're not going to do solo movies before the team up, at least hire A-list actors. Because obviously you can afford it. You're Warner Brothers.
Like, Chris Pratt was not very famous before Star-Lord. But now people will go see a Chris Pratt movie, but they won't go see an Ezra Miller movie. But Chris Pratt draws an audience because we learned about him. We saw him as Star-Lord and we fell in love with him.
And then they didn't need star power for Guardians because Marvel had already established itself as, a Marvel movie's coming out, it's going to make a lot of money. Because people love it, they're going to do a good job, and you're going to enjoy it when you go.
But also character development. They took these characters who no one's ever heard of. Obviously, comic book geeks know who they are. I never heard of Guardians of the Galaxy before 2010, I think. I had no idea who fucking Peter Quill was. Never heard of him. And anyone who's saying they did is fucking lying if they're not a comic book fan. Comic book fans, yes, they knew who they were. No one knew who they were. And then Marvel turned it into this fucking mega money machine that audiences loved. Guardians 1 is great. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, that became a sensation.
And so how come Marvel can do that but DC can't figure it out?
It's because the quality of the content.
Yeah, and character development.
Yeah. And so I think that was the biggest crux for DC was their focus on just making that big Avengers payday. And they're blowing their load too soon, cost them the franchises of all these characters. Because, I mean, Wonder Woman and Aquaman are going to be franchises, but Cyborg's movies aren't going to come out. And The Flash, who knows what's going to happen with that. And you had 3 Batman movies that just got canceled, although Matt Reeves is coming out with his. But, and then Man of Steel, like, he doesn't have a franchise anymore. It's over.
But, again, this, like I said before, is this, like, an opportunity for DC to get their shit together?
I think so.
Because now, like I said, Avengers shot their shot, Marvel shot their shot, so they're kind of just chilling. They're on vacation. Now DC, they got the new Batman coming out. They got Wonder Woman 1984 coming out. Obviously,
Aquaman 2 will come out.
Aquaman 2 will be super successful. Black Adam's going to be probably awesome.
Yeah, they got The Rock,
They say they're going to make a Flash movie, but we'll see. So, I mean, is this an opportunity for them to get their shit together? And then they have a giant library of really unique characters.
And they have so many villains.
They have great villains.
But in Justice League, they went with this, like, CGI giant that no one's heard of, and he looked like a video game in the whole movie. This guy, I can't remember his name. That's how unmemorable this character was. And every scene that every scene he was in, it was just like, oh, this looks like a video game. CGI is so bad. It was unbelievable.
Whereas all the villains in Marvel movies are humanized. You know, they're
even though I mean, obviously DC has better villains, but Marvel tends to do a better job with portraying their villains for the most part.
Well, in current DC, but if we're not counting the Dark Knight franchise.
I'm counting like DCU.
DCEU.
DCEU.
Yeah. So, but again, Tony Stark's gone. Captain America's gone. I mean, is this again? So their two basic leaders are gone. So now again, you have your new Batman coming out. Black Adams, maybe DC can start to get their shit together. And who knows, maybe they figure out how to make a new Superman movie with Cavill.
I would line up to see that.
There are rumors, but I don't know if they're true.
Yeah, we'll see.
Thank you for watching Raiders of the Lost podcast. Hit that subscribe button and notification bell. Listen to the audio format of Raiders of the Lost podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and wherever you listen to podcasts. New episodes every Monday and Thursday. Support us on Patreon at patreon.com/Raiders of the Lost podcast.